Hare Krishna, dear devotees, my humble obeisances to you all. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. 1 second. I'll just record. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, my humble obeisances to you all. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaja's daily class. Today we are very happy to have HG Sridevi Mataji to enlighten us on Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd canto, 3rd chapter, and verse number 23. Hare Krishna Mataji, my humble obeisances to you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hope you are having a very blissful time in Mayapur Yatra. Very happy to have you on the call, Mataji. I'll share my screen once again with the verse. You can just take over.
Thank you, Srimati. Please accept my humble obeisances, dear devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to our wonderful Guru Maharaj. All glories to the pure parampara that we are so blessed to be in. I pray that by your mercy, by your empowerment, by your blessings, which I seek most humbly, that I will be able to do this service which has been given to me today. I've been away from all of you for 4-5 days and it's like separation. But it's a union with Radhanath Maharaj disciples and so many wonderful elevated souls who have come for Radhanath Maharaj's yatra. And it has been truly a very enlivening, blissful and encouraging time to see how many young people are taking to Krishna consciousness, how sincere they are, and how massively this movement is unfolding. It is very encouraging to see that. Thank you. Yes, so we are continuing this beautiful Canto 2, Chapter 3, which is pure devotional service. Is that correct? Pure devotional service, right? Yeah.
Yes.
And we are on verse number 23. We'll start the invocation briefly and then we will begin. My humble obeisances, Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patita Nam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamiraye Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So this verse goes like this. Jivan Chavo Bhagavatangri Renum Najatumartyo Bila Bibeta Yastu Shri Vishnu Padya Manujastulasya Shvasanchavo Yastu Naveda Gandham. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The person who has not at any time received the dust of the feet of the Lord's pure devotee upon his head is certainly a dead body. And the person who has never experienced the aroma of the tulsi leaves from the lotus feet of the Lord is also a dead body, although breathing. Purport. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, the breathing dead body is a ghost. When a man dies, he is called dead. But when he again appears in a subtle form, not visible to our present vision, and yet he acts, such a dead body is called a ghost. Ghosts are always very bad elements, always creating a fearful situation for others. Similarly, the ghost-like non-devotees who have no respect for the pure devotees, nor for the Vishnu deity in the temples, create a fearful situation for the devotees at all times. The Lord never accepts any offering by such impure ghosts. There's a common saying that one should first love the dog of the beloved before one shows any loving sentiments for the beloved. The stage of pure devotion is attained by sincerely serving a pure devotee of the Lord. The first condition of devotional service to the Lord is therefore to be a servant of a pure devotee. And this condition is fulfilled by the statement, reception of the dust of the lotus feet of a pure devotee was also served another pure devotee. That is the way of pure disciplic succession or devotional parampara. Maharaj Rahugana inquired from the great saint Jadabharat as to how he had attained such a liberated stage of a Paramahamsa. And in answer, the great saint replied as follows, Bhagavatam 5:12:12. Rahu ganaitat tapasa nayati na chejaya nirvapanad grihadva na chandasa naiva jalagni surye vina mahatpada rajobhishekam. O King Rahugana, the perfectional stage of devotional service or the Paramahamsa stage of life cannot be attained unless one is blessed by the dust of the feet of great devotees. It is never attained by tapasya, austerity, the Vedic worshipping process, acceptance of the renounced order of life, the discharge of the duties of household life, the chanting of the Vedic hymns, or the performances of penances in the hot sun, within cold water, or before the blazing fire. See how rare it is, the stage, and what one. In other words, Lord Sri Krishna is a property of his pure, unconditional devotees, and as such, only the devotees can deliver Krishna to another devotee. Krishna designated himself as Gopi Bhartu Padakamalayur Das Dasanudasaha, or the most obedient servant of the servants of the Lord, who maintains the Gopi damsels at Vrindavan. A pure devotee, therefore, never approaches the Lord directly, but tries to please the servant of the Lord's servant. And thus the Lord becomes pleased, and only then to his lotus feet. In the Brahma Samhita, it is said that the Lord is never to be found by becoming a great scholar of the Vedic literatures, but he is very easily approachable through his pure devotee. In Vrindavan, all the pure devotees pray for the mercy of Srimati Radharani, the pleasure potency of Lord Krishna. Srimati Radharani is a tender-hearted, feminine counterpart of the Supreme Whole, resembling the perfectional stage of the worldly feminine nature. Therefore, the mercy of Radharani is available very readily to the sincere devotees. And once she recommends such a devotee to Lord Krishna, the Lord at once accepts the devotee's admittance into his association. The conclusion is, therefore, that one should be more serious about seeking the mercy of the devotee than that of the Lord directly. And by one's doing so, by the goodwill of the devotee, the natural attraction for the service of the Lord will be revived. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Pagdakabalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Chandramauli Swami Niti Namini Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Hare. So,
Hare Krishna, Mataji, sorry to interrupt. Your voice was breaking all the time. So if you can
Oh,
switch off your video, it will be better, I think, or otherwise if you can
okay.
make your, yeah. Or if you can improve your
Is this
network.
better now?
Yes, Mataji. Maybe later after some time, if it's get better, then you can
You
switch
think this
on.
is better now?
Yes, Mataji, but there is a little lag, but that's okay. You can continue.
Okay, let me check my internet. Just give me 1 second because sometimes my internet will jump to my neighbor's internet for some reason and it will not connect to my, it has gone to my
Oh, okay.
internet and it should connect to my own internet and it should be better from that point on. Is it sounding better now?
Yeah, yes, Mataji. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
You can switch on your
So
video if it is your internet then.
yeah, it is my own internet. Sorry about
Ah,
that.
now it is there.
Sometimes
Yeah.
my laptop will just go off and it will do strange stuff. It will join my neighbor's internet for some reason. Okay. So over here, Srila Prabhupada is calling non-devotee a ghost. Equal to a dead body which is acting. See what a strong statement Prabhupada is making over here. Because one who has no connection with the Lord is as good as a dead body. Human form of life is meant for specifically connecting to the Supreme Lord. That is why the human body is given to that soul. It is considered the highest on the evolutionary scale because in this form, one can make solution to all the problems of life. It is specifically meant for self-realization. So, when one is in the human form of life, one doesn't take advantage of this and one does all rubbish things, nonsense things, and steadfastly and stubbornly refuses to acknowledge the presence of a higher power, refuses to acknowledge God, then he is as good as a dead body. Because what is the use of having human form of life if one is not connected to the source of all that be, Krishna? Krishna declares this himself, that he is the source of everything. He is giving life to everything. And such a person is called a dead body. Now, ghosts, we all know because they are so frustrated. They have desires. They want to fulfill those desires. They can, in their subtle body, they are very active. They can visualize, see everything, but they are not able to manifest their physical body, the gross body. They are in their subtle body. And so they act. But their actions cause great distress to others because it is always a disturbance. Nobody likes to be haunted by, go to a haunted house where ghosts are around and creating mischief and doing all kinds of things. It's a very fearful situation. So non-devotees have that same nature because they do not accept the presence of the Supreme Lord, do not acknowledge His supremacy. They do all kinds of things which are horrible, unbeneficial, self-destructive, and causing great harm to others. That's where they come up with one scheme after another for sense enjoyment and which causes all kinds of difficulties for themselves and the whole world. These people are actually have very demoniac tendencies, to be honest. Prabhupada is saying it himself that the breathing dead body is a ghost and non-devotees, a ghost like non-devotees who have no respect for the pure devotees create a fearful situation for the devotees. This is the age-old fight between the asuras and the suras. And the Lord never accepts any offering by such mischievous elements. So, then Prabhupada goes on to further explain, can we approach the Lord directly? No, it is never possible to approach the Lord directly. Just as a great man in this just material world, just to give a very crude example, can we just go walk across the lawn even if you are staying next to him and say, hey, Mr. President, nice to meet you? No, there are so many barriers. There are so many obstacles. There are so many checkpoints one has to cross before coming into the presence of a great man, even in this material world. What to speak of the Supreme Lord, from whose body universes emanate through his skin pores, by his breathing. So many universes. That is just one plenary portion of Krishna called Mahavishnu. But as he's breathing in, all of them are resorbed into his body and stay there for millions of years. Such a great personality as the Supreme Lord. Can we just go and say, "Oh, Krishna, good to meet you. I'm seeing you after a long time. Let me shake your hand." Such a thing is not possible. First and foremost, the Lord can only be approached with complete and utter humility and with all respect, awe, and reverence, and great love and devotion, all of them mixed together. We cannot just, approach even the great exalted souls without such an attitude. What to speak of the Supreme Lord? So it's said over here, one should first love the dog of the beloved before one shows any loving sentiments for the beloved. What does that say? What is that meaning? Is that first should love, serve, revere, adore, worship, be totally sold out to the spiritual master, the pure servitor of the Lord, because he is so dear to the Lord. He is giving everything, his body, mind, words, life, assets, everything in service to the Lord. And therefore, he has become very dear to the Lord because he has no personal agenda. It's all about Krishna for him or her. Such a soul becomes very dear to the Lord. And when we please that person, then Krishna becomes pleased because you're trying to please someone who is very dear to him. That is the way to gain the favor of the Lord. So therefore, pleasing the spiritual master is the key to making any kind of advancement in spiritual life. Yasya prasadad bhagavat prasado yasya prasada nagati kutopi dhyayanstuvam tasya yashastri sandhyam vande guru shri charanarvindam. So the pure devotee spiritual master is coming in the disciplic succession. Why? Because he himself is serving the pure devotee of the Lord, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada in turn is serving the pure devotee of the Lord, who is a ray of Vishnu. He is a personal associate of the Lord in the spiritual world who has come down, Simha Guru, to establish the mission of Lord Chaitanya. His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada. And who is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada, a servant of Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj is considered a disciple of Bhakti Vinod Thakur. And so on and so on and so on, all the way up to Narad Muni and Brahmaji and then the Supreme Lord, like that. So the disciplic succession becomes extremely important because we don't want to get deviated. This is the way of pure disciplic succession or devotional parampara. Now Maharaj Rahugana is asking Jad Bharat how he had attained such an exalted stage, because by all outward appearances, Jad Bharat looked like an imbecile, moron. He was a great big, in his body he was very tall, stout, strong, but his whole demeanor was that of a stupid fellow. So when he started speaking high philosophy, Maharaj Rahugana was shocked, because just a few moments before he had ridiculed him, saying, "Come on, carry the caravan properly. Why are you swaying this way and that way? Can you not do even such a simple job?" And then when Jad Bharat replied, he was trying to avoid killing the ants. Then Maharaj Rahugana realized this is a very great soul. Let's go to that verse, my dear Srimati, 5:12:12, how Jad Bharat replied, how he had attained such an exalted position. We will see over here that no amount of torturing the flesh in the form of sitting in cold water up to your neck, or sitting with 10 blazing fires around you, or fasting for days on end, or piercing your body with nails, or your tongue with nails, or standing on your head, or doing this or that, even simply observing the vow of celibacy, simply following rules of household life, or leaving home as vanaprastha, accepting sannyas, undergoing severe penances in winter, or all these things, one cannot hope to understand God. What to speak of approaching him? Unless, my dear King Rahugana, unless one has the opportunity to smear his entire body with the dust of the lotus feet of great devotees, one cannot realize the absolute truth. One cannot realize the absolute truth simply by all these things which we mentioned. There are many other processes to understand the absolute truth, but the absolute truth is revealed only to one who has attained the mercy of a great devotee. So you see, this is the key. This is the secret of success. Purport. It's a very nice purport, and it's a short purport, so we can just quickly read it. Actual knowledge of transcendental bliss can be bestowed upon anyone by a pure devotee. Vedeshu durlabham adurlabham atma bhaktav. One cannot attain the perfection of spiritual life simply by following directions of the Vedas. One has to approach a pure devotee. Anya bhilashita shunyam jnana karmadya navritam. By the grace of such a devotee, one can understand the absolute truth, Krishna, and one's relationship with him. A materialistic person sometimes thinks that simply by executing pious activities and remaining at home, one can understand the absolute truth. That is denied in this verse. Nor can one understand the absolute truth simply by observing the rules and regulations of brahmacharya, celibacy. One only has to serve the pure devotee. That will help one understand the absolute truth without fail. So the key to success is to serve the orders of the pure devotee of the Lord. And the pure devotee of the Lord by nature is very kind, very merciful, and very compassionate. He's not going to tell you, go and build the Great Wall of China to please me. In other words, the pure devotee of the Lord only has the best interest of that jiva soul. In his compassion, he wants that jiva soul to come back to Krishna. And seeing his helpless, pathetic condition, he slowly gives that jiva soul, that conditioned soul, instructions, advice, orders, and out of his compassion, help in order to elevate that soul through the process of devotional service to come back to his original constitutional position. This is the mercy of the pure devotee. We are very blessed to have the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, and through Srila Prabhupada, the mercy of our beloved spiritual master. Okay, let's go back to the main verse, my dear Srimati. Thank you for taking us here. But I would like to go back to the main verse. Yeah. So here Maharaj Rahugana is explaining that no amount of tapasya, austerities, penances, Vedic knowledge, charity, etc., or strictly following certain rules and regulations of brahmacharya life or household life, these things will not help one attain God. God can only be attained by the mercy of Guru. So, in other words, Lord Shri Krishna is the property of his pure unconditional devotees. Krishna says, Naham tishtami vaikunthe. My dear Narada, I do not live in my abode Golok Vrindavan, Vaikuntha. I do not live in the hearts of the yogis, but I am there where my pure devotees are chanting my glories. This is where I am, because the Lord loves their association and he belongs to them. He has given himself to them because they have given themselves to him. So he becomes their property and only they can bestow Krishna on others. So that's why we have that song, Vaishnav Thakur. Ekaki amara nahi paya bala harinam sankirtane. Tumi kripa kori shraddha bindu diya deho Krishna nama dhane. Ami to kangal. I am a wretch. Ami to kangal, Krishna Krishna boli. Ami to kangal, Krishna Krishna boli. Daitava pache, pache. Why? Krishna se tomara, Krishna dite paro, tomara shakati ache. Krishna is yours. Only you can give him to me, Vaishnav Thakur. So I'm running behind you. This wretch is running behind you, crying out, calling out, Krishna, Krishna, give me Krishna. You have Krishna, give me Krishna. Like this, like Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya showed by his example what it is like to be a devotee by running everywhere looking for Krishna and calling out, Krishna, Krishna. So only devotees can deliver Krishna to another devotee. And therefore, we offer all respects to the pure servants of the Lord, and for that matter, to all the Vaishnavas, because sooner or later, Every one of them is going to become pure devotee. We should not think, sometimes in our neophyte condition, we think, oh, that's a very elevated devotee. Let me serve that devotee. Oh, this one, she's just this or she's just that. We should never make this mistake, because Krishna is in the heart of each and every devotee. Every devotee deserves our respect. We may not like everyone because of our own fallen condition, where there may be personality clashes, there may be, I don't like you, you don't like me, etc. But we should always be extremely respectful, because that person has Krishna in their heart, and therefore their body is a temple where Krishna resides. And you never know, that person who is so annoying now as a neophyte devotee, we don't know. Maybe they'll race through the process of devotional service and become pure devotees in 10, 15 years before our eyes. They may become very exalted, pure devotees at the Paramahansa level. And then we will look pretty foolish if we have treated them badly. And Krishna certainly will not forgive us. So therefore, I'm preaching to myself here. Therefore, we must always offer all respects to every devotee, whether it's in a child's body, woman's body, aging person's body, deformed body, any body. Because Krishna is there in the heart of that living entity. So, Lord Chaitanya, therefore, oh, it is not, it's still not breaking. Okay, then I will turn it off. Okay. Hopefully this will be better, Namrata. You can check and tell me or leave a message in the chat. So Lord Chaitanya, what does he call himself? I am not a householder. I am not a brahmachari. I am not a vanaprasth. I am not a sannyasi. He declares he is none of these designations. Nor am I varna. Four ashrams. Nor am I a kshatriya, vaishya, shudra, brahmana. Who am I? I am the servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord who maintains. Okay. Maintains the gopi damsels at Vrindavan, Krishna. A pure devotee therefore never approaches the Lord directly, but tries to please the servant of the Lord's service. That means pleasing the Vaishnavas, pleasing all the Vaishnavas, each and every one of them. Whether they are big, small, old, young, educated, uneducated, crude, polished, speak English well, don't speak English well, do, whatever their mannerisms, whatever their idiosyncrasies, whatever their failings, deficiencies, we all come into Krishna consciousness with a lot of anarthas. Sometimes we hear things also, especially in India, you have this north-south divide, oh, the North Indians, they're all like this, they're all like that. Oh, the South Indians, oh, those Andugundus, they only, keep on talking and chattering all the time, and they don't do anything, they can't do anything. Oh, the Sardaji, oh my God, Sardaji, there are so many Sardaji jokes in India. Do you know what are Sardaji jokes? Some of you Indians who are Indians may know. But it's something like the dumb blonde jokes in America. In America, there's a lot of jokes about blondes being dumb. Now, that's another stereotyping. So like this, we may grow up hearing, oh, you cannot trust those Malayalis, Those Malayalis, they are like this only. Or, oh, you cannot trust Sindhis. They are very money-minded. They are business people, Like this, I grew up with so many, hearing so much criticism of all varieties of people. But once we come to Krishna consciousness and we understand everyone is a Vaishnava, whether he's American, Chinese, Hindu, Muslim, Jew, Sikh, and I've seen Muslims who have become Hare Krishnas, Jews who have become Hare Krishnas, Latinos who have become Hare, all kinds of, because this is the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Prabhupada is giving everyone, even a thief who came to steal his watch, Prabhupada is giving him a chance to become a great devotee. Just recently, that devotee passed away, and he began by coming into the Juhu temple to steal Prabhupada's watch. How merciful is Prabhupada? And when he passed away just recently, maybe not even 15, 20 days ago, he was doing such exemplary, wonderful services after, of course, 50, 60 years in the movement. So we never can say who will become a pure devotee. So why take any chance? Why take any risk? Let us offer respects to everyone. Trinadapi sunichena taro riva sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, completely devoid of all false prestige and ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we have a lot of work to do, isn't it? Because we come into Hare Krishna movement and we have a lot of conditioning, we have a lot of anarthas, we have a lot of prejudices, we have a lot of preconceived ideas and notions about people, about this person, no, they are very stingy. You know, Marwadis, they're very stingy because they're very money-minded. They're like this, they're like that. Like this, we have so many preconceived ideas, but Krishna doesn't like all this. Krishna wants us to see everyone through his eyes. My precious child. That's who everyone is to Krishna. Whether it's an ant, a grasshopper, an elephant, a whale, a thief, a criminal, a Gujarati, a Malayali, a Muslim, a Jew, an Assamese, a Vietnamese, a Korean, anyone and everyone is a child of God. So we must develop that vision. Pandita Samadarshinaha. So how can we do all these things? We have a lot of work, right? To go through the process of Krishna consciousness and purify the heart is not an easy thing. First and foremost, one should be willing to look inward and face all that stuff that we have carried for so many lifetimes, and then humbly pray to the Lord, my dear Lord, without your mercy, I can never get rid of all this mess that's inside. Please help me. And then call out with great entreaties, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And then the Lord will be pleased to bestow his mercy because we are really calling out like helpless children, begging for his mercy. Prabhupada said, the calling out of Hare Krishna's holy names is like a child crying out for the mother. So the Lord becomes pleased when we please the pure devotee. And how can we please the pure devotee? By sincerely following the instructions and the orders of the spiritual master. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te gnanam gnaninas tattvadarshinaha. My dear Srimati, can we go to that verse, Bhagavad Gita chapter 4, verse number 34. Is the audio, video, everything okay now?
Yes, Mataji. Yeah.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively, render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. So, the path of spiritual realization, undoubtedly difficult. The Lord therefore advises us to approach a bona fide spiritual master in the line of disciplic succession from the Lord himself. No one can be a bona fide spiritual master without following this principle of disciplic succession. The Lord is the original spiritual master, and a person in the disciplic succession can convey the message of the Lord as it is to his disciple. No one can be spiritually realized by following his own process, as is the fashion of foolish pretenders. So mental speculation, argumentation, misconceptions, independent study of all this cannot help one. One has to approach a bona fide spiritual master, serve him, submissively, inquire from him submissively, render service unto him without any false prestige. One should serve the spiritual master like a menial servant without false prestige. Satisfaction of the self-realized spiritual master is the secret of advancement in spiritual life. Inquiries and submission constitute the proper combination for spiritual understanding. Unless there's submission and service, inquiries will not be effective. One must be able to pass the test of the spiritual master, and when he sees the genuine desire of the disciple, he automatically blesses the disciple with genuine spiritual understanding. Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashito. We sing, isn't it, in Guru Vandanam prayers? Huh? He who has given us the gift of transcendental vision is my Lord, birth after birth. It is by his mercy that divine knowledge is revealed within our hearts, destroying ignorance, bestowing pure love for Krishna. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. So beautiful. In this verse, both blind following and absurd inquiries are condemned. Not only should one hear submissively from the spiritual master, one must get a clear understanding from him in submission, service, and inquiries. A bona fide spiritual master is by nature very kind towards the disciple. Therefore, when the student is submissive and is always ready to render service, the reciprocation of knowledge and inquiries become perfect. So a very nice, complete process has been given to us by Srila Prabhupada. And here, now Srila Prabhupada is going to further explain that Srimati Radharani is the tender-hearted feminine component, feminine energy of Krishna. And by her mercy only, one can get Krishna. In order to get Krishna, we have to get Radharani's mercy. In order to get Radharani's mercy, we have to get Lord Chaitanya's mercy. In order to get Lord Chaitanya's mercy, we have to get Lord Nityananda's mercy. In order to get Lord Nityananda's mercy, we have to get the spiritual master's mercy, because he is non-different from Lord Nityananda and Srimati Radharani. He is the mercy manifestation of the Lord. Very nice. Now, in this second part of the purport, here Srimati Radharani's glories are being described. She's very tender-hearted, very kind-hearted, and therefore when she gives her mercy, she recommends the devotee to Krishna. Seeing our sincerity, the Lord readily agrees to accept. And Prabhupada once said, because she is so dear to Krishna, if she recommends me, however fool I may be, he called himself fool. Of course, Prabhupada is taking our position. Even if I may be fool number one, Krishna readily accepts me because she is Hari Priya. Let me share that quote with you. It's very beautiful. Shall I screen share, my dear Srimati?
Yes, Mataji, I'll stop mine.
Okay, this is a very nice quote that Prabhupada himself spoke on Srimati Radharani. I thought it was so nice. Okay, can you see me now? See the
Yes.
purport?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Radharani is Hari Priya, very dear to Krishna. So, if we approach Krishna through Radharani, through the mercy of Radharani, then it becomes very easy. If Radharani recommends that this devotee is very nice, then Krishna immediately accepts, however fool I may be. Because it is recommended by Radharani, Krishna accepts. Therefore, in Vrindavan, you'll find all the devotees, they're chanting more Radharani's name than Krishna's. Wherever you'll go, you'll find the devotees are addressing Jai Radhe. You'll find still in Vrindavan, they're glorifying Radharani. They're more interested worshipping Radharani. Because, however fallen I may be, if some way or the other I please Radharani, then it is very easy for me to understand Krishna. So this is the key. Because she is so merciful, she is mother. Even normally we see that children more readily run to mother when they want something, because father is a little strict usually, and mother is very soft and kind-hearted, and they can wrap her around their little finger. Srimati is a prime example of this. Her children know that she is very tender-hearted. She must be having qualities of Radharani. So they're always approaching her and she's always fulfilling their desires. Okay, I'll stop share now. Guru Maharaj teases her about it. Yeah. So yeah, let's go back to the okay, let me screen share the verse. Give me a minute. Since I have it up anyway, I will share it. Can everyone see now?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, very good. So in Vrindavan, all the pure devotees pray for the mercy of Srimati Radharani, the pleasure potency of Lord Krishna. She is the tender-hearted feminine counterpart of the Supreme Whole, resembling the perfectional stage of the worldly feminine nature. Therefore, mercy of Radharani is available very readily to sincere devotees. And once she recommends such a devotee to Lord Krishna, the Lord at once accepts the devotee's admittance into his association. The conclusion is, therefore, one should be more serious about seeking the mercy of the devotee than that of the Lord directly, and by one's doing so, by the goodwill of the devotee, the natural attraction for the service of the Lord will be revived. So, when we come to Krishna consciousness and we look around, we think, I will worship my Gurudev. I don't want to do with all these nasty, annoying devotees. They don't know how to behave. They don't know how to talk. They have no etiquette. They're such a, nuisance. I'm supposed to serve them? Come on. I'm supposed to please them? Why don't they serve me and please me? Huh? This is the tendency when we are neophyte. We think, I'm so great, everyone should serve me. But as we make advancement, we realize I'm very small, I'm very insignificant, and I'm very lucky to be in the association of the Vaishnavas, because this is my opportunity to practice for my real position. I am nothing but a servant of the Lord. This is my eternal identity. Ekale Ishvara Krishna Ara Sababhritya. There is only one controller, Krishna. Everyone else is a servant. So this realization, once it comes, then immediately we become very humble. We offer all respects to others and we offer all service to others. We are seeking to please them, because by pleasing them, we will be pleasing Krishna. By serving them, we will be serving Krishna. So of course, it takes some time to get there. We are still very neophyte right now. I think I'll serve only my spiritual master. And I don't want to really interact with all these devotees. They don't know how great I am. So all these tendencies we have to slowly overcome if we want to advance in bhakti. And then we will actually find ourselves feeling very joyful, because when you're not asking for anything and you're always trying to give, you're free. You're free, because now you're no longer expecting and getting disappointed. You're no longer expecting and feeling, disappointed or hurt or let down. You're now in a position of giving, and giving is in your hands. You can give any amount. No one is stopping you. You're in control now. You're free, actually. So the process of devotional service becomes very joyful, very satisfying, and very pleasing, because now you're acting in your constitutional position, which is loving servitorship to Krishna and his pure devotee spiritual master and all the Vaishnavas. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Hope that was helpful and beneficial. My humble obeisances to everyone. Please forgive me if it has not come up to your expectations, but we can always open up for questions, corrections, additions. Feel free to add your points of realization, because every one of you is also a very serious devotee. So I'm happy to hear from all of you. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much. Such a wonderful class. Yeah, this verse is very beautiful. It helps us understand that that we can't approach the Lord directly through the spiritual master. That through the mercy of pure devotee only we can approach the Lord. So yeah, very nice class, Mataji. Thank you so much. Dear devotees, any questions or comments? You can please go ahead now. Or you want to share any realizations also? And please turn on your cameras if possible. Yeah, I just want to share one realization that once you come into the shelter of a spiritual master, your life will change, and all auspiciousness comes into your life. That's how that's what I want to share, because Krishna's mercy starts flowing from that point. I felt. Mataji.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. We cannot underestimate the wonderful mercy that comes simply by coming in touch with the pure devotee of the Lord. What to speak of accepting his shelter? Ramanda Bravite Kona Bhagyavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Beej. After wandering for millions of lifetimes in millions of universes, in millions of species of life, finally, in the human form of life, to get the mercy of the pure devotee of the Lord is indeed incalculable good fortune, which we have received.
Yes, Mataji. So I can't even imagine myself being in this position right now. When I go back and see few years back how I was and how I am now. So it's all mercy of Guru Maharaj. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, Amritana Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, and all glories to my wonderful God family. I love you all. I was out for a week, and I was definitely, desperately missing all of you. I was like dying to come to your company. So finally I am. Finally I am in the company. So yeah, I'm really feeling recharged. Yeah, thank you all. So my question was, you just said that we must be in the company of Vaishnavas, in the company of especially under the shelter of Guru. That is very essential for us. So I was just thinking, in past few days I was in the company of some karmis and tried my best to do my sadhana. I used to do my sadhana in the morning time. I used to do my mangla and mangla aarti and bhajan, just by myself and all. But all I could not do was reading part, because the things were really getting hectic. So here I was just feeling that something is still missing. I was really feeling uncomfortable. So if we are still doing some part of the sadhana, so why do we feel that discomfort between the karmis?
First, Amrita Nam, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to our wonderful Gurudev. And as you rightly said, all glories to our wonderful God family, which is our only shelter. So you see, because we are not Prahlad Maharaj, who is a completely pure devotee and completely untouched by the material energy, because even though everything was happening around him, he was completely absorbed in remembering Lord Narayan. Sorry, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So just remembering Dhruva was Narayan. So like this, he was so deeply absorbed, he didn't even notice that they were throwing him in boiling water, they were throwing him over the cliff, they're throwing him in the poisonous snake, they're doing this, they're doing nothing. But we are not on that level. We are still very small jiva souls and we get affected by the material energy because here we are in Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga means we are very weak, basically. So therefore, it is essential for us to be in the association of Vaishnava because it is very easy. If you are in that current will pull you in that direction. And you have to try with all your strength to hold on to your sadhana, hold on to your, spiritual practice and all, because now the current is dragging you in another direction. That is why association of devotees is so important. It is very difficult. It is very difficult. I myself experienced this just few days in 2 years back in December when my own daughter was getting married. And it was a very difficult time because I had to be with all different kind of people. And I'm telling you, I was thinking to myself, Krishna, I will never do this again. Never, 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 never. It was so hard. Lord Chaitanya says, I would rather be thrown into a cage surrounded with burning fires on all sides than be without the association of devotees. Now, Lord Chaitanya is saying this. What about us? We are just so small and so prone to being carried away. So it is very difficult for devotee to be outside the association of devotees. To be a non-devotee, karmiya, so however nice they may be, polite, friendly, fun-loving, this thing, that thing, because they have a completely different mindset. They are not surrendered to the Lord. Their whole mentality is different. And they will pull us along. अरे चलो ना इसमें क्या है, चलो साइट सीइंग जाएंगे, अरे चलो ना शॉपिंग में जाएंगे, अरे चलो ना इसमें क्या है. So like this, they will just drag you, and by the end of the day, you're like, oh my God, where did my whole day go? What did I do? And then we get infected because we are not so strong, no? So one should try. Yes, some social obligations are there. We have to do certain things, but it is very difficult. It is very difficult. So we must just try to shorten it as much as possible and get away and come back to the association of devotees.
Thank you. In last few days, yes, definitely, I strongly understood what association of devotees is. So yeah, that that will be my part of my everyday prayers now. Please don't keep me away from the association of devotees. Thank you very much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Glad to have you back, Amrita, now.
Yes, Mataji. Anyone else have any questions? So how to be always in the mood of a servant, Mataji? Like, yeah, as you said, like when we advance from neophyte stage to bhajana kriya and little bit of anartha nivritti started, but even then, we don't. Sometimes we forget that we are a servant and just we do things like normally, just like a routine, but we don't have actually that concept in the mind sometimes. So yeah, how to constantly remember our position like this, Mataji? You're on mute, Mataji.
The more we practice Krishna consciousness, the more we are in the fire of Krishna consciousness, the more we will come closer and closer to understanding I'm nothing but a servant all the time, every moment. My only identity is servitorship. That will take some time for us because we are so used to lording it over and doing all kinds of nonsense. So, because we have turned away from Krishna, Bahirmukha Jeev, now to turn towards Krishna after centuries and lifetimes, it's like having a stiff neck, you know. You have to pull our necks this way and start turning towards Krishna. So it will take some time. It is not so easy. But if we persist, just like a child who is just learning to walk, he stumbles, he falls, he stumbles, he falls, he stumbles, he falls, but he picks himself up and he keeps walking. And one fine day, he's just running around like crazy. So the day will come when one by one, our anarthas will go. We will come to more and more realization. We will become more and more in that mood of servitorship. It is a process. It is not instantaneous, but we can rest assured that if we stay in the process, we will see ourselves making advancement. That much guarantee Prabhupada gives us, that success is sure for the rigid practitioner. So we just have to keep going. We should never give up. That's the key to Krishna consciousness. Yes, sometimes it's disheartening. My God, After so many years, I made that same mistake again. I can't believe it. How could I be so foolish? Sometimes, we catch ourselves like that. So we have to be a little introspective and think, yes, I've been doing this for millions of lifetimes. How can I do better? How can I be more? For me, I have this great habit of forgetfulness. It's really embarrassing. I'll forget my keys, I'll forget my diary, I'll forget my book, and then I'll start calling up people. Is it over here? Is it over here? Is it? And then I'll find it in my bag only because I put it somewhere else. So it is so embarrassing, and this happens time and time again. So just today again, for the millionth time, it must have happened. And I unnecessarily troubled my spiritual daughter. I texted her, I can't find my diary, I can't find this. And then it was there in my own bag. And I was thinking, how long am I going to go on like this? Prabhupada gave very clear instructions how to be organized, how to remember everything, how to write down everything. So Prabhupada said, remembering means writing down. And Prabhupada wrote everything down. Even he spent 2 rupees. He would write it down in his diary. Today I spent 2 rupees for this, like this. So Prabhupada was highly organized and highly systematic. He had keys for everything. There will be key to the almirah, which will open another locker, in which there will be another key, which will open one cabinet, and in that cabinet there's a safe, and that key will finally open the money box, like this. So organized, so particular, because it's Krishna's energy. It's not just money. She's Lakshmi Devi, meant to be used in the service of the Lord. How careful I must be. Tamal Krishna Maharaj relates this incident when he lost the key and Prabhupada found it. And Tamal Krishna ransacked the whole place, and then finally he came and he told Prabhupada, I'm so sorry, cannot find the key. And Prabhupada said, here it is. And then he made him put it on his Brahmin thread, said, never ever lose the key again. So, Krishna consciousness means working through every little thing that is sapping our strength, energy, consciousness, making us make the same mistakes again. It may seem like a small thing, but actually it can become very embarrassing. And maybe I might actually forget something very big if I go on like this. So I have to think, how can I do better? I have done this so many times. I should not keep doing this, isn't it? So it's a practice. And we will clear out one set of anarthas and say, yay, victory, I finally got over it. And then another set of anarthas will come to the surface. But that's all right. We are here in this process of purification because we are serious practitioners. Krishna will help. Krishna will help. Nobody said perfection is easy. Can you get a diamond for 5 rupees?
No.
So we have to pay the price. We have to pay the price. And we should be willing to pay that price. And slowly, slowly, we will be able to see, okay, I've got over that bad habit, so this is working. Then we begin to have faith in Krishna. Oh, this chanting is really working. I was so mean before to people. Now I'm becoming kinder. I'm becoming more tolerant. I'm becoming more patient. We feel the difference in ourselves as we progress. Then that gives us faith. Oh, I could get over that. Then I will get over this also in the future. So it makes you more confident about the process. That means keep on keeping on.
So, Mataji, so once we get rid of all our anarthas, slowly, one by one, then we'll be able to realize our servant position.
We should understand, at least theoretically, right from the beginning. At least theoretically, we should understand that right from the beginning. But realization comes in stages, yes. At Nishtha, you're firmly fixed in your service. So yes, by that time, you have understood that my position is to be a servant of Krishna. So Nishtha, generally speaking, one becomes fixed in one service. 75% of the anarthas are gone. Still, once in a while, that 25% may keep coming. But at least now we are acting on that principle. At least we are acting on that principle. So I cannot tell you a Shastric reference. This is my understanding, but I need to give you a clear Shastric reference for it. I will have to research that. I don't have it with me. Otherwise, I could have told you in this verse, it is said like this.
I think Guru Maharaj mentioned in one of his few classes, I think. Yeah. Yeah, yes, Mataji. Thank you.
At what stage we understand in reality a position of servitorship, that I must find out. What Shastra said. Okay. I'll look it up.
Sure, Mataji. And will reading scriptures, so chanting definitely purifies. So along with that, association. So is it like association or like our sadhana? Which one is more prominent in helping us removing in anarthas, Mataji?
All of it. We must chant also with attention, and we must also associate with the right mood of service, because in the association of devotees, actually devotees are like mirrors. They show us, hey, look, this is something you need to work on, you know. So devotee association is invaluable for us to work on our anarthas and to get past, our conditioning. Association is important. Reading is also very important, because when we are reading, we are directly associating with Prabhupada.
Yes.
That is highly purifying, because Prabhupada has put all his personal ecstasies in his purports. So that is very purifying for us, and it is very, very elevating to read those purports and get deeply absorbed in the message of the Supreme Lord that Srila Prabhupada is conveying through those purports.
Yeah, got it. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Manas Prabhuji, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada, all goes to you, Mataji. Thanks for sharing such a wonderful, perspectives about how we can grow in the path of bhakti. So, Mataji, I'm just sharing, a couple of realizations that I have had, and whatever that you have shared make absolute sense for me, at least. For example, you talked about to be able to get free. It's important that we don't expect, rather we get into the mode of giving, and that is something that I have realized with time, and I can definitely mention that the more I have reduced the expectations, the better I feel within. So that is one of the realizations I just want to share with you. So thanks for bringing that point loud and clear. And also, I mean, just specific aspect of how association matters. We used to live a little away from the center that we have in Cincinnati, and we have to travel for around 50 minutes to an hour. Every week we used to travel, but in between, because of certain, again, pull from that materialistic side, we were not able to come. Whenever we used to, miss coming to the center, there was definitely a gap that me and Niti, I mean my wife, both used to feel somewhere that there is something which is not happening right. And in fact, even in the life in general, we realize that things are not really probably getting aligned right, and something which is not really happening right. So that kind of a negativity used to get within. And we actually we have moved recently, as in a couple of months back, we have moved closer to the center. Now we are just 5 minutes away, so we get a more frequent more frequent association with all the devotees, and things have definitely have got way better. That the continuous association, that continuous thoughts around the Lord help us to get rid of the so-called Maya. Obviously not rid completely, but definitely helps to not get controlled very much by the Maya. So that way is the association. We have felt a very close uh, realization of that part. So thank you for bringing that again. And third and last point that is very important from today's discussion for me specifically was about how important it is to be organized. I was very casual. I was very casual in terms of approach and in terms of managing time. And although I was used to, I used to complete things in time, whatever is required for me to be done, taking up the responsibility. So nothing of that sort. But I was not very specific in terms of defining the times or organizing things. That was not there. And I used to feel proud in that I can do whatever comes my way then and there. That's what my approach was. But now, after getting into Krishna consciousness, I realized that is not the right approach. And it is very, very important to keep a track of time, it's very, very important to be organized if you really want to utilize time right. If you really want to be effective in terms of how you're utilizing your time or spending your time. So that ways, I realized that I was not at all right, and how important time is for all of us. In fact, I mean, that is my personal realization. And if you really want to grow in the path of bhakti, and reading continuously is important, and for being able to take out that time, organizing time is the key. So that's what I just wanted to share. Mataji, thanks a lot for bringing all of these points in just such a small span of time. It takes time for people to realize and understand all of these things, and you have just put it together in such a crispful manner. So thanks a lot for that, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Manas Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Gurudev. Yes, it is extremely important to get organized. Why? Because that will help us to get regulated. And to become regulated is a very big deal, you know. Personally speaking, for me, it is very challenging because I'm a very scattered person. I have never been a focused, time-oriented. I could never keep timetables. You know, I was in medical college and I would see people with timetables, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and every hour, everything. And I would be like, oh my God, how can they do it? It would be so frightening for me because my whole personality is very different. I'm a very spontaneous kind of a person, you know. So, like you said, I would get things done. You know, I would study, I would appear for the exam, I would clear the exam. All those things would happen. But I would also like to go casually to some friend's room and chit chat. And we were living in hostel and do things, then go and have chai and come back. And so it was not like, you know, hi, exam is. I was more, you know, happy-go-lucky kind of a person. So for me to become organized is very challenging because my mindset, my personality is not like that. But Guru Maharaj has said again and again that if you want to be effective, you have to be organized. You have to be regulated. And that will help you to be more effective because now you're not wasting time. Where's my keys? Where's my phone? Where's my... So much time is lost when you're disorganized, unsystematic. And this is not because it is Krishna's energy. Just as we don't waste water, we don't waste paper, we don't waste electricity, we should not waste time. Time is in fact more precious than anything because it will never come again. Time lost is time lost. So yeah, it is pray for me because believe me, I'm very disorganized and very, what to call it? I don't know what to say. Forgetful. My mother would always complain, there goes the absent-minded professor. Because my head would always be in the cloud somewhere thinking something all the time. And she would be very annoyed with me because I couldn't be organized. I couldn't be systematic. I was so scattered all the time. I still am, but I hope I've gotten a little bit better. But definitely there's lots of room for improvement.
You're being very kind and humble, Mataji. We are all learning from you.
No. My goodness. That is you should learn from me how not to do things. Say, okay, Sridevi makes all those mistakes, I won't make them. That's what you need to learn. Guru Maharaj has been so tolerant and so patient and so kind and so compassionate that I cannot afford now to go on being the same foolish person. I have to at least now try to get better.
Thank you, Mataji. Amazing.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for sharing. Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Nice discussion. Yeah, Amrita Mataji, please go ahead.
And believe me, all this I will say only because this is my God family. I'm not going to say it anywhere else because who knows how they will take it, you know. Because we are all so close and we are all God brothers and God sisters. We can really open our hearts and speak, you know, what is difficult for us or challenging for us because here we know everyone will understand and they will pray for us also.
Right.
Yeah. Yes, Mataji. Amrita Mataji, please go ahead.
Thank you, Swati. So we still love you, Sridevi Mataji, even in despite of that. So not to worry.
That is the only hope I have.
Once in a while, I'll bang my head, with you, but still, I love you.
I know that. I'm so thankful for that. Even Srimati, how much she tolerates me, my God, it's unbelievable. I'm so lucky to have wonderful God family that loves me in spite of all my nonsense.
So, Mataji, on this point of organization, yeah, I do. This is again my takeaway as well, as mentioned by Manas Prabhu. So, organization, which is really very necessary, and yes, I'm still not up to the point. Of course, I admit that, but I try to organize my, back when I am at home, I try to organize my schedule. But when we are traveling, when we are not in our daily routine, our organization gets messed up. So I always think of Guru Maharaj. Oh my God, Guru Maharaj is always traveling, but how does he manage all these things? So I always look up to him, and then like I think again. But the difference is, so we have been to the spiritual retreats, or some spiritual programs, get-togethers, and all that. When we are traveling in those kind of programs, and then when we are traveling to for something, social obligations, for going into Karmis association, so very much difference. Although we are traveling, but here, when we are in the spiritual association, things still doesn't feel that scattered for me than this part. So it's still manageable. The organization is still manageable when we are traveling, and if we are in the spiritual company, rather than, on the other hand. So I feel this on the part of organization I want to mention.
Yes, definitely. In the association of devotees, we feel strength, we feel encouraged, we feel empowerment, we feel the affection, and everything becomes so much easier because of the mercy of devotees. Devotees are very kind by nature, very helpful, and there sometimes some nice ideas by devotees have really helped me. Simple, practical stuff. And they've given me some suggestions, like, no, don't worry about it, or don't. Once I remember saying, oh, I can't really do this. And one devotee just said, just hire some help and get it done. And I was like, yeah, why didn't I think of that? Why should I break my head about everything? Just let me admit that there's something I cannot do and just hire help and get it done. Why try to be super mom or super wife or super anything? Why not just be frank and say, okay, I'm just a human being, I'm limited, and it's not possible to do everything. So she was, the way she said it, I was like, oh my God, why didn't I think of it? But that's what happens. We cannot think of everything, we cannot do everything. It's the association of devotees which will help us. Good point.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do devotees any more questions or comments? Okay, Mataji, I think there are no more questions. So shall we do some chanting? Revati Mataji is messaging.
Yes.
She's messaging, Hare Krishna Mataji, my humble obeisances always to Sri Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you for beautiful class. Thank you for reminding us pleasing Guru Maharaj is the key for progress in bhakti. As we take shelter of Guru, mercy is flowing in, and we just need to hold on to his lotus feet and practice applying his instructions as much as possible. I still struggle to apply the instructions. May devotees mercy, I can improve. Thank you, Mataji, for such an enlightening class. Thank you,
Thank you, Revati, for
Yeah.
always being so devoted to Guru Maharaj and always trying to follow his instructions. You are a Guru Maharaj called her Raghunath Das Goswami because of her mood. That is very sweet and very nice. And I only pray that we can all somehow be helpful to you and, help you in whatever way we can. And we pray that you can help us to improve in our devotional life.
Yes, yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much. So sorry I won't be able to turn on my camera, but thank you very much for such a beautiful class. Yeah. We need your blessings, Mataji, all devotees' blessings. Yeah. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Guru Maharaj is very humble, very tolerant towards all devotees. Yeah. Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
that is our saving grace. Guru Maharaj's mercy is our saving grace. This is all we have. The only good fortune we have in this material world is lotus feet of our Gurudev. So grab those lotus feet, just hold on to them tightly and make your way out of this place. Go back to Krishna. Hari bol.
Thank
So
you,
I have a question. What exactly do you mean, Shilpesh Prabhu? You said that is your superpower, embrace it. I don't understand that comment. Can you explain?
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Now, you're talking about how you're not very time managed. You're kind of eclectic in the way you do things. But, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's like, we are who we are. And, the more we are ourselves, sometimes that's, look, you've done a lot in life, even though you couldn't have timetables and so forth. And you're teaching us here all, amazingly. So embrace it. Just be who you are. Krishna made you who you are.
Okay. I'll think about that. Thank you. I need to think about that. But it's a different perspective. Definitely something to reflect on. Thank you for sharing that, Shilpesh Prabhu. Appreciate it. So today is Dheeraj Prabhu's birthday.
Yes, Mataji, I was about to say, yes,
Okay.
we all wish you a very happy birthday, Dheeraj Prabhu. And
Thank
may
you
you
so
always
much.
be
Thank
in
you so
shelter
much.
of Krishna, Guru Maharaj and Lord Krishna, and you serve them nicely.
Please
Happy
bless
birthday,
me.
Dheeraj
Please bless
Prabhu.
me.
You're such a
Yeah,
young
thank you.
devotee, and yet you're so serious in your Krishna consciousness. It is really wonderful.
It's all because of you. You are guiding us.
Yes, Prabhu.
No, you have such deep realizations and you have a lot to share in your Krishna consciousness simply because you have taken time to reflect on many things and you are really an old soul. You have just taken birth in this lifetime in this particular family as a devotee, but you are a devotee from previous lifetime. That's pretty obvious. So you have a lot to give us, Dheeraj Prabhu. I look forward to more and more realizations and more, deep reflections, which are very helpful for me also.
Yeah, yes, Mataji. Definitely by your association, I can.
So you've done all of 24, is it? You're just 22 or 23, right? Just turned 24? 25,
25.
okay. You're just a baby and look at you. Wow. I wish I could have
I
started when
wasted
I
my
was
life.
that
I
young.
have wasted my 17 years, 17, 18 years, Mataji. Like, if I were born in a devotee family, then I would be chanting, taking the sadham from my childhood. So, yeah, wasted and still becoming devotee. I couldn't be serious, but yeah, Krishna made me serious. Yes.
Haribol. That's
Yeah.
the key. And you took it up. You took it up. You took up the challenge and you have come through with flying colors, Dheeraj Prabhu. We are so proud of you.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Haribol.
so
Happy
much.
birthday again. Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Dheeraj Prabhu.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So,
Happy birthday.
yeah, thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
So, dear devotees, I think Mataji, can we do
Yes,
something?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can
Mataji, I may not be able to share my screen. Can you do that, Mataji?
Yes, yes. I
I'll-
can screen share and I can play Prabhupada Japa tape also.
Thank you,
Let
Mataji.
me just
Dear devotees, thank you so much for joining. And tomorrow is Bhakti Sangha Japa group class. And Maharaj will give class. And the verse number is 7th canto, 11th chapter, verse number 30, 7, 11, 30. And the time is 20 minutes later than our regular time. It's 12:20 p.m. UK time. And for India, it is 5:50 p.m. Almost 10 minutes to 6. So yeah, please join the link, which I'll share in the WhatsApp group tomorrow for Maharaja's class. And from Friday onwards, Maharaj will be available to give classes for all of us in our daily Zoom class. Thank you so much. So we'll do some japa today, whoever wants to.
7, 11, 30
30.
you see.
Yeah, 7, 11, 30.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Such a wonderful class and nice discussion. Yeah, we'll continue chanting.